Even if you can't make it to the south of France for vacation this year, there's nothing to stop you making a delicious small lamb roast and an oven roasted ratatouille. Now, ratatouille is that celebration of an abundant harvest in the Mediterranean region of zucchini, also known as courgettes, the eggplant, peppers, tomatoes, and of course some onion and garlic. Now typically ratatouille is made in a large casserole like a Le Creuset pan, but if your oven is already in action to cook your lamb, what's to stop you tossing all those beautiful vegetables in some olive oil, adding some herbe de Provence to give it an authentic flavor, and roasting the vegetables in the oven. So I have my semi-boneless leg of lamb here placed on a rack. As you can see, it's in a shallow oven pan. The reason we put the lamb on the rack is to prevent the heat of the pan from drawing the moisture out of the meat. So just any type of little rack you can find from the cookware store, and make sure that the pan you use has shallow sides and you're good to go. Now I'm very fortunate, my oven does have a core temperature probe. And when I insert this into the oven and put this into the receptacle in the oven, it's actually going to monitor the cooking, well, it's going to monitor the cooking time depending on the temperature that I enter. So I know that it will probably take me about an hour and a half to cook the lamb, and it'll probably take me about 45 to 50 minutes to roast the vegetables. So I have a kind of a ballpark there. But you know, halfway through the lamb roasting, if you don't have a core temperature probe, what you can do is take an instant read thermometer and just check the internal temperature to get a sense of how quickly it's cooking. Now I find that I always get best results if I cook the meat at lower temperatures. So I've set the oven to the convection mode, 325. And we'll just let the meat cook slowly. When I add the vegetables in, I'm actually going to increase the temperature at that point, and that will help the lamb get that nice browning and crisping, and the vegetables will also do better at a higher temperature. So I've set up my oven racks so that my meat can go in on the middle rack, and I've left space on the lower rack for the vegetables to be added later. Cooking is all about planning, but the oven will do all the hard work. It will help make the food taste good. So here we go. So the readout from my core temperature probe is telling me that the internal temperature of my lamb roast is at 130 degrees. So 5 degrees to go, and the meat will be ready to come out. Now I have added most of the vegetables into the oven, and when you add the vegetables for the ratatouille, they will work best if you really crowd the tray, because the type of vegetables tend to shrink quite a bit. Now I haven't added the tomatoes in yet, so when I take the lamb out, I'm going to have to reset the oven, because when you use a core temperature probe, when it reaches the internal temperature you've programmed in, the oven turns off automatically. Okay, so reset the oven, add the tomatoes, and now I'm going to increase the temperature for the vegetables. Now remember, when you're cooking meats, large roasts like this, what's the most important thing? Resting, that's right. The meat is going to have to rest for at least 15 or 20 minutes, and then we're going to have to carve it. So by that time the ratatouille will be perfectly cooked. And here we have another easy, delicious meal thanks to the magic of convection.